The Mello TV Evening News at 8 is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Coronavirus is in Jamaica, and I know you feel scared and worried. But you can't let COVID-19 divide us. Coronavirus infects all kinds of people. It doesn't discriminate. So why should you? When someone coughs or sneezes or shows signs of the virus, tell them to call 888-1-LOVE immediately. And remember, stay 3 feet away, but don't attack or disrespect them, because we're all in this thing together. Come on, Jamaica, cut the hate and don't discriminate. Let us stand together and fight COVID-19 as one family, one nation.
Tonight, major flooding has been reported across Jamaica, with Kingston and St. Andrew seeing increase in landslides and major road closures, causing the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation undertaking major cleanup activities.
There are landslides as we speak now, causing the road closure in Kintyre, Gardentown, Mavis Bank divisions. We have equipment now in all those divisions.
The public is being advised that the police emergency 119 number is currently out of service. Jamaica has recorded 4 more COVID-19 deaths in the last 24 hours, pushing the tally to 192 and 35 new confirmed cases, pushing the total to 8,749. And Raytown residents have expressed mixed reaction to the special area curfew that was imposed on the community last Friday.
Well, when we did at the 9 o'clock curfew, we did all right. The 6 o'clock curfew, we not seen a cent tonight neither, because people still out and about.
Everybody's wearing their mask still, but I just think that we should be get tested.
Good evening. Major flooding has been reported across Jamaica, with Kingston and St. Andrew seeing increase in landslides and major road closures, causing the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation to undertake major cleanup activities. We have more on this story with Colleen May.
A team from the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation KSAMC toured flooded communities in Bull Bay over the weekend following continuous heavy rainfall affecting several parishes across Jamaica. Mayor of Kingston, Councillor Delroy Williams, said they have been touring the area in an effort to assess the damage caused by flooding, with issues of landslide and road closure.
We have been having consistent rainfall for over the last 2 weeks. We have been doing over that period clearing roadways because of landslides across the municipality. We have had many landslides in West Rural St. Andrew, in the Lawrence Tavern division, in the Stony Hill division, Red Hills division, and now we are experiencing similar landslides here in East Rural St. Andrew. We are now in the Bull Bay division, but there are landslides as we speak now, causing the road closure in Kintyre, Gardentown, Mavis Bank divisions. We have equipment now in all those divisions, clearing the roadway. And so I would say the municipality, the MP, the NAA, we have responded quickly, and we are doing whatever we can do as quick as possible to clear the roadway so that the movement of people in and out of the communities can take place. This is an area that we are quite aware of in terms of the water overflowing the pond that is here and flooding homes. So we have consistently cleaned this area. We have done so approximately 3 times already, and I'm pretty sure the NAA would have also done its work.
Mayor Williams also outlined that checks have been done to the drainage system in the area and it is working. However, the major concern is the volume of water, which is causing an overflow into communities and roadways. What
we're experiencing is the fact that the volume of water, the drain network as it is now, is not able to handle the volume of water that is entering the drain. We have said we have a concern with which is something we are looking into, is the increase in the surface runoff. and we believe that there are larger volumes of water are running off the surface into the drain network. Our drain network the drain network is not able to handle the volume of water, so you're getting an overflow of our drains, and that overflow creating flooding. There are some sections of the Bull Bay area here that are low-lying areas, and so whenever we have consistent rainfall, you are going to have flooding in some sections. And so we do our best to ensure that the drain network that attend to those areas, that they are functional and that they are clear. We have observed them as a few minutes ago, and they are running as they ought to.
Member of Parliament for St. Andrew East Rural, Mrs. Juliet Holness, in speaking with our news team, says every area in her constituency have had landslides and major flooding.
We have suffered significant flood damage and landslides right across the constituency of East Rural St. Andrew. No division has been spared. We have had serious landslides in Harbourview, in the Bayshore area, and Harbour Drive, coming into Bull Bay, St. Benedict's Height, Shooters Hill, Toby Gully, and where we have ponds and particularly areas where water would need to get out to sea, those are backed up and experiencing significant flooding out many of our homes. We have had severe damage along the Cane River Road, Greenvale, Cane River itself, Linda's Gap, all the way up to Top Bedwood, serious damage. In Gordon Town Division, Maryland, Belcourt Lodge, Irish Town Road, in Mavis Bank, Jacks Hill as well in Gordon Town. In the Mavis Bank area, massive damage right across. Craig Hill, Content Road going into Mount Lebanon. Salt Hill is currently totally blocked off. We cleared Craig Hill yesterday, and by the night it came down again and blocked off the area. St. Peter's is blocked, Mount Charles is damaged, Dublin is having severe damages there as well. So the entire constituency, I actually wondered if the rain only fell in East Rural. Having had 2 days of rain, the devastation has been severe. We are accustomed to having landslides once the earth is saturated for a day or two, but it has never been like this. Every single area of the constituency has had major landslides, major flooding. It is going to cost us a lot to get our constituency back up and running for persons to be able to traverse and be comfortable.
Reporting for Mello TV News, I'm Colleen May.
Thanks, Colleen. And as heavy rain continued to affect parishes across Jamaica, Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Southwestern, Dr. Angela Brownberg, has called on the government and the National Works Agency to help fix the underlying causes of flooding in the constituency. Here is Ophelia Miller with more on this story.
Member of Parliament for South West St. Andrew, Dr. Angela Brownberg toured sections of the Majestic Gardens community in that constituency to assess damages caused by flooding. Dr. Brownberg, in speaking with our news team, explained to fix this issue will require the attention of the government and the National Works Agency.
Today I'm here looking at what is happening down here, talking to residents. Ever since Chesterfield Avenue has been built, we know that the problem has become worse, although it has been a problem for quite some time. I have written and spoken to the NWA about it, and the last time what we came and did is we actually cleaned the gullies just to make sure that any rains or so on, the possibility of flooding could be mitigated. Obviously, even with the cleaning that we have done, it's not enough. I think that there is a little breakaway that we're going to fix. But more than that, there's also the new bridge, the low bridge, that also traps debris coming down and cause some more flooding in the community. The truth, though, is that for individuals living in this particular area, which is prone to flooding for a number of years, I think that the more permanent fix would be to ensure that we have a kind of housing down here that lifts the houses from off the ground, that allows water to flow, and to also see how we can stop some of the water from flooding over the gully. It's a major issue. It's not something that the funds of the Member of Parliament or even the councillor who would have responsibility for the gully could fix. This requires a major investment, and it has to come from the government. This is one of the areas that we're asking the NWA, along with Marcus Garvey Drive. It is just as important.
Dr. Brownberg further outlined other areas in her constituency that have been affected by flooding due to heavy rainfalls.
Ever since we have been working on, the work has been done on Hagley Park Road, there are always issues along Spanish Town Road. And so I expect that. Again, we have Marcus Garvey Drive. And then also, honest to goodness, because of some of the houses that are in poor condition or older homes, there are problems with them, you know, in terms of leaking roofs, in terms of even just the stock, the housing stock that needs some kind of regeneration. A couple months ago, we actually did an audit. We have identified a number of individuals who have requested housing assistance. We are almost at that point of distributing those, but the truth is that that doesn't come close to the needs, to fulfilling the needs of members in the community. It is an ongoing need that is required, and we just have to keep doing it.
One resident who spoke with our news team says residents in the community are asking for urgent assistance from the relevant authorities.
Nobody can stay at them place. I'll be a family and friends place, them have to stay to hold the place stay. Like twice myself, I can't stay at my house, at my girlfriend place. Because the whole of my house flood out and my things them wet up and be a thing. Some 2 weeks and now I sleep at my girlfriend place. And be people come and say, Ray, I'll know we're not getting it. Because from them come and say them clean the gully. Them don't fix it back, so them leave it. And from them leave it like that every time. I just the same come over, everyone I flood out. Flooding on top of flooding every time. Yeah, we need it fixed. We need the council and somebody to come do something about to the community. We don't have so for too long. And right now, I be a promises we get, and that can't help. They have to do something. See, we need help. Urgently, we need that.
I'm Ophelia Mello, reporting for Mello TV News.
Thanks, Ophelia. Meanwhile, over in Clarendon, some families had to abandon their homes due to rising waters on Sunday evening. Our news team visited the Osborne store and Tollgate communities, where we observed small children being carried through rising flood waters. The water rose as high as 5 feet in some yards. The Alley Bridge in Clarendon also sustained significant damage from the flood rains. Officials have not yet determined an estimate of the damage, but they have taken steps to safeguard the commuting public. When we visited the bridge, caution tape had been drawn around one lane of the bridge that had been totally destroyed. The bridge has been reduced to single-lane traffic. One resident, Isaac Classman, explained how this has affected him.
For right now, we are doing a risk. And when the bridge come over, we have to take the long road. That side of people cut off, this side of people cut off between Fan Race Course and Water Lane. So we have to take it around Yorktown, which that road is very, very, very bad. It takes you more than an hour on the bad road, also a year so. This road is directly bad too. So we have a difficult time when rain time and the bridge come over, man. Difficult time. If the river come over back, we have to still go back around Yorktown. And it is a mere, for once the Yorktown so, to come down to the banana, they flood out, water did it, always difficult same way. For water always did it. It's a difficult problem, man. And you know most pass there.
So water is everywhere then?
Everywhere. So difficult for me work. For me I have to go face water around here, so. Which way if the bridge come over, I have to call it and go home. And that's difficult for me. But there's no money I make.
Clarendon Southwestern Member of Parliament Lothan Cousins gave an assessment of the damages.
Southwestern Clarendon serves as the basin for all the water that comes from Sowersop Turn, Top Clarendon, Manchester. It empties into Milk River and all of the Veer Plains. So we have seen incidents of flooding and damages at Alley. We have incidents of flooding at Rock Road, St. Diego Road. We had a light pole that was down yesterday in Springfield that has been addressed by the Jamaica Public Service. And we are here at Rasta Camp in Kempston that has also experienced significant flooding. And so we're here working with the people trying to see what services we can offer them and what comfort we can offer them in this time. It's very difficult, and I mean, we're calling on the authorities to address the issue at Ali as soon as possible. And that's a serious issue. The road is now reduced to a single lane traffic, and the sooner the works agency can get on top of that issue, the better for everybody, because it is very dangerous, and I know persons are going to try and traverse that road at night when the visibility is poor, and that may lead to an incident that we don't want to see happening at all down here. There was a section of the bridge several years ago, more than 15 years now, that washed away, and what has been done over the years, a temporary fix by the works agency. What is required now is a more long-term fix where the concrete abutment needs to be sorted out, and that section of the bridge that was washed away needs to be reinstated in the manner that it was before.
In other news, the public is being advised that the police emergency 119 number is currently out of service. Alternative contacts are 876-927-9910, 876-927-7778, and 876-927-7584. Jamaica has recorded 4 more COVID-19 deaths in the last 24 hours, pushing the tally to 192, and there were 35 new confirmed cases, pushing the total to 8,749. The deceased persons are a 48-year-old male from St. Catherine, a 76-year-old female from St. Catherine, an 88-year-old female from St. Catherine, and a 50-year-old male from St. Mary. Of the new cases, 11 are males and 24 are females, with ages ranging from 3 to 88 years. Some 121 persons are in hospital, with 21 being moderately ill and 3 critically ill, who are among 4,139 being active cases. In the meantime, there were 21 more recoveries, increasing the total to 4,303. Raytown residents expressed mixed reaction to the special area curfew that was imposed on the community last Friday. More on this story with Galeen May.
Following Friday's announcement of Raytown in Kingston being placed under a special area curfew, our news team visited the area yesterday and spoke with residents who shared mixed views.
Disgruntled very much, because it's not like say them come here and investigate. Them don't come and investigate. It's only people attack, say corona in a Raytown. And it's not like say them say 20 cases. We don't have so much 20 cases of people. It's 2 times them come and them check we. And most of the people them say them get back them result which is negative. Some want to know what negative mean. Negative mean them don't have it. Is the test lying or the people them lying? We don't understand, because the government don't send nobody to scrutinize the people or screen out the people them. Well, when we did at the 9 o'clock curfew, we did all right. The 6 o'clock curfew, we don't see no sense tonight neither, because people still out and about. Them can send people come test it. They must can send people yard to yard then and find out what go on. And then when we find out that no, we can't alright. But the 6 o'clock when them just come and lock with them and run we off of the road, we not still send to that, because people have forgot about them business here, me.
I think we should be get tested, because anything can come in at when the curfew lift in the morning and the curfew is going to be at 6 o'clock in the evening. Anything can come in and out during that time. Them say essential worker can go out. We're on public transportation and we can get anything during that time. So I think we should be get tests. That is my opinion. We should be get tests. I don't see any van, I don't see anything coming around. Everybody's wearing their mask still, but I just think that we should be get tested.
Member of Parliament for Kingston Central, Donovan Williams, urged residents to adhere to the curfew orders and also cooperate with the Ministry of Health and Wellness as they work to keep the residents safe and contain the spread of COVID-19 in the community.
I am aware that a team from the Ministry of Health, the professionals from the ministry, are on the ground and they are carrying out testing and sensitization. And I am really pleased with the work that they have been carrying out. I must say thanks, express our appreciation to the practitioners and the hardworking health workers who are on the ground and who really have the community interest at heart. Now, appealing to the residents, please, adhere to the protocols, obey the curfew order, because at the end of the day, these orders, these restrictions are really to benefit us and to contain the spread. Some of us feel that we are healthy, and because we are healthy, we are good. But the fact of the matter is that the curfew is also for the healthy. It is really to keep you healthy. So we are imploring you to obey the protocols.
The special curfew will end on November 6. Reporting for Mello TV News, I'm Colleen May.
Thanks, Colleen. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton says there are now 42 sites to facilitate priority coronavirus COVID-19 testing for healthcare workers. He said that 15 of the facilities are in the South Health Region, 13 in the Southeast Health Region, 11 in the Western Health Region, and 3 in the Northeast Health Region. These sites, he pointed out, will give staff members an opportunity to test on requirements and give them priority. The minister, who was addressing the ministry's weekly virtual COVID-19 Conversations press briefing, outlined that the establishment of the testing sites form part of the ministry's welfare program for the island's public health workers. The one-year initiative is expected to bolster staff well-being in light of COVID-19 and its impact on the health sector. Dr. Tufton also shared that the ministry has begun the process of giving healthcare workers access to a North Coast facility for rest and relaxation, and they are allowed a number of days at very minimal cost, as well as a range of activities that will give them support. The program also includes mandatory rest days for staff who would have worked excessive hours, and family support and counseling for those who are most impacted by the disease. As students continue with the new norm of online learning, the Education Ministry is projecting a decline in the academic performance of students over the next few years. And we have more on this story with Natisha Johnson.
The Ministry of Education is projecting a decline in the academic performance of students in the next 3 years due to the impact of COVID-19 on the sector. State Minister in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, Nestor Morgan, says the government is, however, trying to address the impending fallout. He says a remedial program is being planned for thousands of students who were left behind because of the closure of schools.
It may also result in us having to engage in a process of remedial education, where the ministry has to look to see how we can give more time to students who were rendered vulnerable during the pandemic. Because the reality of it is that if it is that we do not do everything in our power to ensure that our children are not left behind, we're going to see the results in 3 to 5 years. We're going to see the results in the passes. We're going to see the results in the behavioral actions of our children, and ultimately we're going to see the results in our labor force and in our economy.
The state minister, who was speaking in Prospect Primary School in Clarendon last week, also gave an update on the plans for the physical reopening of some schools.
We do not want a system where, because of COVID, those who are already vulnerable, those who are already less fortunate, those who are already in a position where they do not have access to the necessary technology are further pushed to the back because of COVID. So the intention and the commitment of the Ministry of Education and the government is that we're going to do everything that's possible to ensure that our students can have access to education. It may result in face-to-face classes taking place under particular guidelines. It may result in us pushing out internet to more educational institutions and more communities. It may result in us having to give more resources to the education system. So where we're not able to give internet and tablets, we can give physical forms.
Natisha Johnson reporting for Mello TV News.
Thanks, Natisha. Labour and Social Security Minister Karl Samuda says that stringent vetting measures will be implemented in the issuing of work permits to foreign nationals. He said that the ministry has to ensure that permits are not being granted for skill sets that are within the Jamaican labour force. Minister Samuda was speaking at the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding MOU between the ministry and the University of Technology UTech on the weekend, pointing out that the business of handing out work permits will not be an automatic system. He said it will be carefully examined to determine if the job that is being requested can be filled by someone locally and who is trained here in Jamaica. He notes there is going to be a requirement for the appropriate discussion as to the scarcity of that job before it's opened to all. Minister Samuda said that the government has an obligation to protect the local labour force, particularly as the country continues to deal with challenges brought on by the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. The ministry is partnering with the University of Technology UTech to promote the use of the Labour Market Information System LMIS in order to ensure that graduates are fully equipped to meet the demands of the job market. In other news, police attached to the Kingston Western Division arrested and charged 2 men for breaches of the Firearms Act following an incident in Victoria Town, Kingston 12 on October 23. The men have been identified as 34-year-old Edward Murray, otherwise called Chili Boobs, and 22-year-old Sean Thomas, both of Victoria Town, Kingston 12. Reports are that about 10:45 a.m., officers were on an operation in the area. On seeing the police, Murray ran inside his house. The police quickly followed him inside. A search was conducted and one high-point 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 6 9mm rounds of ammunition was found. Thomas and Murray were subsequently arrested and charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. And those were the stories making news. I am Tamar McHale. We'll now take a break and then join Christopher Scott with sports.
Coronavirus is in Jamaica, and I know you feel scared and worried. But you can't let COVID-19 divide us. Coronavirus infects all kinds of people. It doesn't discriminate. So why should you? When someone coughs or sneezes or shows signs of the virus, tell them to call 888-1-LOVE immediately. And remember, stay 3 feet away, but don't attack or disrespect them, because we're all in this thing together. Come on, Jamaica, cut the hate and don't discriminate. Let us stand together and fight COVID-19 as one family, one nation.